Okay, day 29. As you can see, I've drawn Duggan's house and I've put the car in, and I've drawn these first two panels and started flattening them. And I've just started on this new panel here, which is our SWAT team. I'm sort of working on that. So yeah, quite happy with the progress on this page. It's going quite well. Should have a big chunk of it done by the end of the week. I think tomorrow I'll be alternating between typesetting page 8 and continue work on these SWAT guys. Yeah, it's coming on quite nicely. I'm quite liking it. It's looking good. It's shaping up well. This page is a tricky one, but so once this is done, we can get back to page 35 or whatever it is. Yeah, it's been quite interesting. Yeah, there's not really much more I can say about it. Oh, I can talk a bit about how I get work done. Let's talk a bit about process. Okay, so let's do a bit of maths. If you do the bare minimum half-hour a day on the 100 days challenge, in a week you'll do 3.5 hours of work on your comic. For me, if on a good week where nothing else goes wrong and I can get to do the amount of work I want to do on the comic, I can get 16 hours a week in. And I'll do that because I've got an hour for break, lunch break, every day, Monday to Friday. So that's 5 hours straight away. And the way it works is, you'll have noticed that the end of the week, there's not a great deal of footage. So here's how it goes. Monday, I go into work. I do an hour's work at lunchtime, and I come out in the evening and I film it, like I'm doing now. I then go home and do normal evening stuff, eat a meal, that sort of thing. My daughter goes to bed at 9 o'clock, so then I've got 2 hours before I go to bed. That gives me 2 hours to sort of do some more work. And then of course I go to work the next day and I've got another hour at lunchtime, which I do, and then I come out, and so essentially what you're seeing is essentially 3 hour spurts in the week. When we get to the weekend, it's a bit different because I want to maximise my time with the family, not with the comic, which sounds terrible, but so the weekends I do bare minimum, which is why I get 16 hours. Things are going to change ever so slightly in this challenge because I've been given some commission work and that needs doing quick, like in 2 weeks. So I've got to design a logo for a YouTube channel. I've got 2 weeks to do it, and it's a little bit complicated, so I'll probably be doing some of that tonight. So progress on this page will slow down, but I hope to get most of this done by the weekend. We're on Tuesday at the moment. It's Shrove Tuesday today, so I'm going home and have some pancakes in a bit, so that'll be nice. And of course tomorrow's Valentine's Day, so I've got to get my wife a Valentine's card. Oh, of course, I've already got that, right? Yeah, I already done that. Yeah, that's all done. Whew, swish. I think that'll do for today, and we'll see you all again tomorrow. Alright, bye. Okay, welcome to day 30. Minimal update today, just the bare minimum half hour. I've been working on a couple of live briefs as well. So as you can see, I'm working on this SWAT team, and yes, I made note to myself to check this end of this gun because it doesn't look right. It looks a bit, well, iffy. So because I'm working in layers, it means I can flat as I go. The fill tool in this I don't like, and it's also quite tricky to sort of select areas to make fills when you're flatting. So I tend to just block in colours with a paintbrush, and then sort of zoom in and just make sure they meet up on the line, over the line, sort of thing, so the line hides both areas of colour. Anyway, that's today's work, nothing crazy. These are Agents of Meta, which is the I forget what this is now, but it's something to do with multiplanar existential threat agency, or something like that. It's something like the Ministry for Existential Threats or something. Basically, it was an interesting acronym, and it's in the inside cover on that report on the aliens in consensus reality. I can't remember what it's called. And I sort of made it look like a government department. So yeah, these are meta men, meta agents, and the typography for their helmets it's very reminiscent of what they do on Judge Dredd on 2000 AD. Like, they do a lot of this sort of stuff where you take a square and you carve bits out to make a letter. So that's all I did for that, and it's quite simplistic, but it does the job, and I'll probably refine that again a bit later on. So yeah, 3 more panels and we'll have this page done. I've set up page 8. Page 8 is ready to be typeset now, so we'll do that tomorrow. So again, another middle day tomorrow, and I think that'll do for today. Alright, bye now. Hi, welcome to day 31. I'm going to be quick. There's not much memory left on this camera at the moment, so I'll be sort of moving some files off shortly. Right, as you can see, I finished inking off my SWAT team, put some colours in. There's some shading now on these 3 panels. So effectively, we've got half a page. Just started on these last 3 panels. I'm in the process of inking out this panel. Changing him, it looks awful. Sorry, that is a terrible face. I will redouble my efforts on that one. Keep the car, lose the Duggan. It's just these 2 panels, and that's another page. So with a bit of luck, we might sort that out tonight, and then these 2 panels. So maybe by the end of the week, we could have another page done. That'd be nice. I've typeset page 8 and 9. They're up and scheduled, so we're now scheduled till mid-March. So yeah, it's going well. Okay, that's enough for today. I'll probably clear some memory from this, and then I can have a longer talk tomorrow. Alright, bye. Hi, welcome to day 32. This is my second take. I started to ramble. I promised myself I wouldn't ramble. So, yep. Duggan's had the head swap, and I've shaded him. He's got some shading going on. So it's just these 2 panels to do, which is the van and the guy in the van listening on headphones, and then we can carry on with normal pages. Now Bones McKay mentioned something today about speeding up your production by batching up pages, and I'm going to try and do that. This is going to be towards the end of a chapter, so I think there's only about 5 pages left, and the last page is a bit of a splash page, so I'm probably going to batch up the last 3 or 4 pages and then get them done, and then do the splash page, and that's chapter 2 done then. What else is there? But anyway, first things first, the weekend, these 2 panels, get started on them. I've got some design work I've got to do for a few live projects they need working at this weekend as well. And I'm probably going to end up doing some home improvements. So, all in all, a busy weekend. And I think that'll do for now. Alright, bye. To day 35. And as I said at the start of the weekend, on Friday, I'd have that panel finished. And there it is in all its glory. Yeah, listening in the background, just about to see Standard Nerd there. Let's get it away. Standard Nerd, balding guy with a neck beard. Yeah, standard sort of nerd. I'm going to make his outlines a bit thicker, but I'm pretty much done with that page. So yeah, quite really happy how that's come out. Like I said, now we've done this, we're back onto page 35 onwards, and it's the end of another week, which is good. So it's the end of week 7. From my maths is correct, it's end of week 7, which is uncanny, incredible. So yeah, and I just thought I'd give a shout out today to all the people who I am following on 100 Days of Making Comics. Now, there's no particular order, although it is roughly alphabetical, but that's only through memory, surprisingly, which says a lot about my memory. So you've got, I've been watching kncomics. It's Kiki's comic. She's doing something called Frigadoodles, strip-based stuff based on her life and her friends and family. That's starting to really start to come together now. She's starting to do some strips now as opposed to just lots of character design work, and I think that's a good way of really ironing out production wrinkles. Then there's Life, What Is That? It's some kind of conspiracy theory type of thing, and that's I find catching up on the early days of that project. But it looks interesting. The style's kind of similar. Hope you don't take this wrong way. Kind of similar to Holly Brown stuff. Similar. Then there's Key's comic. I'm gonna go Key's Comics, and she's doing The Girl Behind the Glass, and looks like a whole lot of fun, and I can't wait to see more of it. I would ask, is it based in any way in Norse mythology? Because I'm sure she mentioned one of the character names as something like Frigga, so that's interesting. Now Arp Laszlo, I've been following his YouTube channel for a couple of days, and Arp, if you're listening, I doubt you are, but if you are, was really interested in your video on Saturday about digital sharecropping. Now, I want to make a response video to you about it. Not wanting to start the beef, but I don't necessarily agree with your assertions. Next up, we got Marshall Lee, and he's doing lots of stuff. He's having some problems with text recently. Chris McQuinlan. Jeez, sorry, Chris, mate. I don't know how I'm messing names up. Chris McQuinlan, he does Monkey Junk, and I subscribe to it on Tapas. I can't wait to see the revamped Monkey Junk. Looking forward for that. You got Bones Mackay doing Magpie. Really like listening to what she's got to say about stuff, and I kind of agree with what she says. Jennifer Lafferty, she's doing something called Gothic. I think it's got a Gothic Circus. She's got a really soft voice. If you like ASMR videos, you could probably do AMSR videos if you have that way inclined. Joshua Campbell's doing quarterly stories. I'm subscribed to you on that as well. I'm subscribed on Tabas to that as well. Lots of hand ink stuff. and quite a few dogs present. So you get a big thumbs up from me for that. We got True Murray, who's got a fantasy story with two characters called Hamlet and Roland. I'm not sure if you mentioned the story yet, but it's there. Santugui is doing Ludus, something about a bear. Robert Johnston's doing Zero comic stuff. I've only seen a handful of his, but I do watch them. Video Rupture's done only I think 2 videos. I'm waiting on some more videos from him. And then there's Yannermal, who I think is a Swedish guy in Spain, and he's doing something called Fwah, which is a sci-fi type of comic. And last but not least is a guy I listened to on Friday, and it's quite interesting. Okse or Okse. I'd seen his work on Facebook and on the D100s group, and when I saw his video, the accent sounded familiar, and it turns out we both went to the same art college, so that's kind of spooky. Yeah, he just called It's Complicated. It's got a great cartoon style, some really nice pencil roughs going on there, really dynamic, and it should be very interesting. So I look forward to seeing more of that and hearing more of you guys' work. So I might not be able to comment on all the videos all the time. What I tend to do is I tend to listen to you guys. So I tend to queue up the videos and let them play almost like a podcast. So I mainly get a lot of audio, not a lot of video. So that's what I've been mostly listening to this week. Hey, if you want me to listen to your 100 days, why not send me a link to it? Oh, he's not on the list, and I've been watching him. Katonuchiha 4525, he's on the list as well. Sorry, mate, you should have been right at the start, because for some reason I started with all the K's, so you should have been on there. Yeah, he's doing a lot of stuff with. He's got 2 comics on the go, Pan and Gas Chamber, and he's doing some looks like some spec work for IDW as well. So there's someone to watch. Right, I think that's everyone. Now, if you do have a hundreds channel, YouTube channel, and I've not seen it, let me know, because I'd love to listen to it. And I think that'll do for another week. That'll do for day 35. All right. See you later. Bye.